Hi, my name is Massange, and this is my mentor.
Jenny Sherman.
Our poems were inspired by a conversation we had at one of our section meetings. And the poems were inspired by, we had a conversation about seeds and dreams and planting. And so for me, and I told Jenny my story about how I grew up with my grandmother, who was a farmer her whole life, and the idea of growing your own food and how that applies to dreams. So Jenny was very inspired. And so we took similar roads with the poems, but different words.
So I'm going to read first. My poem is called The Fable of Crow Girl, and it's inspired by Massange. Red sun was sleeping beyond the dark hills, and spiders still wrapping their mummified kills in webs beaded with dew at the edge of the field where rice plants hung heavy, drooping with yield. Bats plunged and swooped over the head of the girl who walked quickly, a stick in her hand, a curl in her unruly thick hair, her eyes hooded with sleep. Her job wasn't to harvest, it wasn't to reap. It was protecting the rice from ravenous birds. Crow Girl crouched at the forested border. She heard cackles and caws as dawn purpled the sky, tied a dirty white rag to her stick. Up high in the trees, branches drooped from the weight of hundreds of crows, hungry, awake. As red sun rose, birds started to drop out of the boughs. Crow Girl ran at the crop, flapping her flag. Shoo, ha, she screeched, and yeah, go home. She yowled, and she shrieked, and she shouted and yelled, and she screamed, and she cried, and she hollered and bellowed until her voice died. With barely a flutter, they continued to eat. Flopping down in the dirt, Crow Girl started to weep. Now a silver blackbird, hearing the sound, paused from her meal and approached. The profound glance that she gave the girl stifled her tears. The crow spoke. Why are you crying, my dear? Those are my dreams that you're eating, she said. The seeds of this harvest are next season's bread and my future, my hope. You'll take them all, and I'll have nothing. And once more, she started to bawl. The old crow thought, then asked, can we share? Crow Girl sniffled and paused, then said, I swear, once the harvest is done, you'll have plenty of rice to yourselves. When we reap, we thresh the crop twice. But many smaller field seeds fall. They aren't worth our keeping. They're yours if you want. Wait, next week is the reaping. Crow nodded her head, flapped her wings, gave a croak. The flock took to the air, blew away like black smoke, and was gone. Crow Girl grinned. All week, every day, she returned to the field, but the crows stayed away. Now, the day of the harvest, Crow Girl rose before dawn, went with her stick and her sacks to the rice. Farther on, she noticed a figure stooped over the rows, hastily picking. A thief. Red sun rose on a man, 13 sacks. He was stealing the crop. Wielding her stick, she roared at him, Stop taking my rice! If you ask, we can share. The man looked over his shoulder. He sneered, I don't care what a little girl says. I'm taking these sacks. He returned to his robbery, exposing his back. Crow Girl snarled and ran, rained blow upon blow on his spine. Then she yelled, Help me, Crow! A silver blackbird dove out of the sky. She pecked and she stabbed at his ears and his eyes as more and more birds joined in the fray. The man's head ran with blood as he scrambled away. The girl shouted with joy. She opened a sack. This, she said, is yours for your crafty attack. This poem is a story, but a fable as well, and every good fable has a moral to tell. A dream, like a seed, needs protection to grow. Don't let it be snatched by a man or a crow. Bring your stick and your wits, your pluck and resolve, and when fighting for dreams, get your buddies involved.
Hi. My poem is entitled The Struggle of Survival. When you grow up being very picky, yet having so little to choose from, you learn to accept poverty as a reality. She woke up every morning, worked the miles to till the soil, again and again, not for poverty, but reality. To survive is to strive, is what she always said. Poverty is not a decision. No, it is not a choice, but reality. and who say that yearning for survival is actually taking steps to fertility. Poverty means 70 years of harvest. It means 70 years of yearning. Mining has a way of nurturing and surviving. Now knowing that every step she's taking is leading her one more step closer to faith. Faith will soon make up his mind. He said that she will never experience what it is like to be thriving. As I watch her lose her strength, dying little by little, my heart turned apart. The best I could do was waiting for broken wounds to heal, waiting to take long walks with her again, waiting to be spoiled like any other grandchild. But now it was too late. One life of mourning and weeping was to end. Before she realized it was too late, she was now between death and life. And I, for once, remember that it's always been the struggle of survival. It was not about the struggle to heal. The body that once walked miles back and forth for years was now paralyzed, taking baby steps. But one can only hold on for too long, and death gave no warning, and constantly take the loved ones first. So she let go before I could get there and do anything. She separated herself from desolation and destitution. Till now her spirits tell me that poverty is not a race. It is not a culture. It certainly does not determine one's future. A child born and raised in poverty can live the life of thriving.